All right, we've got our big time 40 acres of buckwheat cut. A guy came by the shop today and he said big time operators, BTO. I kind of like that. We're just getting ready to make some adjustments to the 300 here. We got our corn head on, obviously. We're going to run our helper springs way down tight. That just relieves so much pressure from your hydraulics. And this corn head's still been doing great after we did the total head rebuild on it, which we talked about. And I just can't find one for the 510 easy and cheap enough. Everybody's very proud of them. 3,500, 2,000. I got a line on one in Indiana, an 1163, but we don't have it this year. And for our big time operators, 9 acres of corn, I think we'll be just fine with a 3-row. And just going to do some basic maintenance, check our fluids, put our hopper doors back on. Tried to clean out as much as we could, as valuable as buckwheat is, and give the guys that we harvested it for all we can. And I'll run over here to the 510. A couple of problems developed. Just finished washing it. Still some water dripping off of it. That just makes it nicer for the spring. Basically just dusting it off does a lot. Try to open up every door we can. Just lets the air get through it. Hopefully the mice won't settle in it as bad. They don't like a breezy area. They want it nice and snug. I'm going to open up this front concave door, open up the trap door for the throat. Try to get as much air through it as we can. Went to cut on a little 4-acre patch and snagged a stump with this sickle, broke that sickle off. I was able to keep cutting, thankfully. Left a little bit of shagginess in the field, but nothing that couldn't just be overcome by going a little slower. And then we bent this sickle guard here, snagged another stump. It was a peach tree stump, and just ended up dragging it right out of the ground. Let me walk around here through this maze. Our hydraulic problem is not solved yet. It's a little frustrating. Let me hop up here in the cab. It's a little frustrating. Took that to a local shop, and my assumption, just being a layman, was that the actual housing would never wear out. It was just the O-rings and seals. Well, that's not true. There is the lands in there, the lands and the undercuts. The undercuts, of course, will never wear, but your lands that go into your cylinder housing, or your spool valve housing rather, they wear. They're a very tight fit, and after 40 years of going up and down, especially with this style of header control, that especially wears all day long, goes up and down like this. And I found a couple more online. These Cessna valves, like I said, we bought all of them from Surplus Center, that don't have the power beyond machined out, which is that fitting right in front of you. They're actually right here on the side. Thinking about maybe having them work on them, and then even maybe just making a bulge out, even if it was just a hose sticking out there. Might look a little hokey, but at least we'd have a oil-free tight machine again. And so that remains to be documented and overcome. I thought we really had it there, but after a day of using it, we quit for the weekend over Sunday. Started up Monday, and just started leaking, weeping right down the neck again, just like we never did it. It's kind of frustrating, but that's what you get with these old machines. We'll get it figured out and overcome it. All in all, the machine did great. Charlie did have a breakdown, but this really came through for us. We put all that time in. The Lord blessed our efforts, and didn't have any problems. Everything ran great. And I think that's about all I can say for this combine. I don't know. I'm sure there's some things that'll still need some work on it. I did a to-do list in the cab, and that way we wouldn't forget until next season. But all in all, heads did good. Header controls worked excellent. Other than the hydraulic oil spool valve starting to leak again, we were problem free on this combine. The only problem that Charlie had was just a little 3/4 inch fastener bearing on the top of his clean grain elevator or hopper elevator. Just went out. 40-year-old bearing. I think that's a 71 or 72 model, and this is a 76. So I mean, it's old dry bearings. What do you expect? And even the big boys, they have breakdowns. My maintenance is just a little bit cheaper to do than theirs is. I think that'll wrap it up for this year. We might do a little bit of videos for corn shelling. We've got, like I said, big time 9 acres to do. Boone County white corn. But if we don't, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.